Okay, we're just about ready to start, so if you could please grab your seats, we can begin the program. Thank you very much. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us. Thanks for coming out here on this great day in Detroit. I'm Kurt Menefee. Most of you know me as host of Fox NFL Sunday, but last year I had the honor of being the lead play-by-play guy for the USFL on Fox, along with my analyst, Joel Klatt. A lot of you know him from his work at many a Michigan game. And it was fun. And it was good to do spring football and be part of something special. It was the rebirth of the USFL. It was the rebirth of the Michigan Panthers. 40 years ago, they won the first championship of the USFL, beating the Philadelphia Stars. And now they're back. And talk about rebirth, I think it fits perfectly for what's going on here. You know, I was telling some people last night when we were out at dinner, I've been coming to Detroit for decades now for sporting events. And I think it's indicative of what happens in this state, in this region, in this city in particular, rebirth. Because for all those decades, I always heard, hey, we're trying to reignite downtown Detroit. We're trying to reinvigorate this area of the state. And I think rebirth and being reborn is what is happening, not just with the USFL, not just with the Michigan Panthers, but I can see the difference. Maybe you don't see it incrementally when you live here, but when you don't and you come and visit from time to time, you can see Detroit has been reborn. Downtown Detroit has been reborn. And I think that sports plays a large part of it. This building that we're in right now, Ford Field, across the street, Comerica Park, both at the turn of the century, bringing people back downtown. Little Caesars Arena, bringing the Pistons back downtown, having the Red Wings here. Not only does it help from a business standpoint, but it helps from a community standpoint because it unifies people. It gives them not only a gathering place that physically they can be together, but something to rally around. And I think sports does that. It's a sense of community that brings people together. The USFL certainly did that last year in its first year back. And I think that here in Detroit, with the Michigan Panthers being back as well, it will continue that rebirth that downtown Detroit has happened. And so many partners really helped make this day happen that we're here to celebrate, including many dignitaries in this room, a lot of them here in the first row. It's impossible to recognize everyone, but I do want to thank Governor Gretchen Whitmer and Lieutenant Governor Garland Gilchrist, Detroit Mayor Mike Duggan, who's sitting right here. He'll be speaking later today. Wayne County Executive Warren Evans, who's right there as well, and Mary Sheffield and the Detroit City Council. Rod Wood, Kelly Cazell, Brad Michaels, and all of the Detroit Lions team here at this world-class facility that I mentioned earlier, Ford Field. They helped make this our new home. And everyone at the Henry Ford Health System who will be protecting the health and safety of both players and fans during the games here at Ford Field. Scott Weatherby and all the folks at Eastern Michigan University, where our teams will have their practices. Tom Gores, Arn Tellem, and Richard Haddad from the Detroit Pistons, we thank you for your support and your resources as well. And Dan Gilbert and his team at Rocket Companies, Jay Farner, Mark Hollis, Jared Fleischer, and Chuck Wilson. As I said, so many members of the community, so many political and sports leaders worked very hard to make this day happen, and we're here to celebrate not only them, but this very special announcement. So I say thank you to everyone who had a hand in making this possible. And to get us started off officially, I'd like to bring up the Executive Vice President of Football Operations for the USFL, Daryl Moose Johnston.
Thank you, Kurt. Good morning, everyone. Well, we're back. With the help of some great partners, the USFL is making history by announcing that the Michigan Panthers have returned home in 2023 to play here at Ford Field. I hope we got that the mascot uniform dry cleaned for that young man before we rolled it out today. Got a little bit warm in Birmingham the end of the season. We're thrilled to officially join the community of Detroit, which has always been a city with a deep legacy of entertaining people, especially in sports. The USFL is proud to be part of the revitalization of downtown Detroit, and we are excited about turning up the Motown music and firing up a new fan base for professional spring football in Michigan. The USFL is appreciative of the tremendous support and commitment from the city of Detroit, officials at Ford Field, and Eastern Michigan University, and countless other community and sports leaders around the region for bringing back the USFL to the state of Michigan. And none of this would be possible without our elite media partners, Fox Sports and NBC Sports. As part of the Fox family in the house today, we're thrilled to have CEO Eric Shanks And unfortunately, Mother Nature would not cooperate with us, so we were actually supposed to have legendary University of Michigan Wolverine Charles Woodson with us today, but they would not let him escape from Miami last night, and truth be told, he may be getting a little bit soft being down in South Florida from the Michigan weather. So we miss Charles here today. Whether it's Ann Arbor, East Lansing, Ypsilanti, Grand Rapids, Kalamazoo, Marquette, or right here in Detroit, the entire state of Michigan has a rich tradition of being fanatic about football. The USFL has come home to Michigan because fans here share our passion to celebrate football as much as we do. The USFL has a strong commitment to community outreach, so the Panthers and Stars look forward to engaging this community and becoming part of the fabric of the greater Detroit metro area. As Kurt mentioned, we remember that the Michigan Panthers are in the history books by winning the first USFL championship in 1983. Now, 40 years later, we're ready to write an exciting new chapter. The new USFL has already made history. Thanks to a remarkably successful inaugural season last year, the USFL is now a proven and stable brand on the professional football national stage. Crowning a champion last July was a generational accomplishment because the USFL did something no one else could: complete a successful spring football season and return for season 2. In fact, it's been nearly 40 years since a major professional spring football league has accomplished this feat. The last to do it was the 1980s USFL. Our championship game last July, in front of a capacity crowd at the Pro Football Hall of Fame in Canton, showed the USFL has a strong future. We're proud of the high quality and competitive football we provided for our fans. We expect season 2 to be even better. We're confident because in November, we announced that the Memphis Showboats and Houston Gamblers will be hosted in Memphis. We also announced that the Birmingham Stallions and the New Orleans Breakers will be hosted in Birmingham. Yesterday, we announced that the Pittsburgh Maulers and the New Jersey Generals will be hosted in Canton for the upcoming 2023 regular season. As we continue to move more teams into their local markets, this season will be about growing our fan base by continuing to play the brand of football that fans love to watch, strengthening our partnerships, and embracing opportunities. Today's opportunity not only involves the return of the Panthers, but also to announce that this region will host the Philadelphia Stars in 2023 as well. 40 years ago, the Panthers and Stars faced off in the first USFL championship game, the start of a historic rivalry that will be renewed this season. It's going to be an exciting USFL Season 2, especially on Sunday, April 30th, when the Michigan Panthers will kick off right here at Ford Field. That will mark the first of several weekends where fans can watch USFL games here in Detroit. For a fun and affordable football experience, fans can go to the USFL, 2 words, squeezed together, theusfl.com, to make a deposit and lock in priority access. We also encourage football fans in Ontario, Canada, to come down and check us out. With that set up, I'd like to direct your attention to the monitors to watch a special video that helps capture this historic moment.
Detroit, Motown, Motor City, sports fans and football fanatics. Blue collar? Yeah, we're blue collar, and we're tough as nails. And we're known for our comebacks as a city, as a state, and in the stadium. We're a city built on hard work, dedication, and passion. And now, we're bringing some passion back. This season, the USFL comes back to where it all began, back where it belongs, Detroit, Michigan. What does that mean for us, football fans of the Great Lakes State? More action, more rivalries, more football, professional football on Fox and NBC. It means a positive impact on the community, economy, and our city's winning ways. Where champions are born and legends are formed. All in a world-class venue, offering a world-class fan experience. Get ready, Detroit. A new era of professional football is here. United by football. The United States Football League.
It'll definitely be an exciting time. You see the date, April 30th. That's when the Michigan Panthers and the new USFL kicks off right here at Ford Field. And I'm guessing, since he is the mayor of Detroit, the biggest fan come April 30th will be the next speaker, Mayor Mike Duggan. Your Honor, come up.
Well, thank you, Kurt, and I am the biggest fan, but Detroit football fans were not ready for this season to be over. The way the Lions were going at the end with that turnaround, we wanted more, and now we are going to have football this April right back in the city here at Ford Field. And if you haven't seen USFL football, it's a little bit different. Fast pace. They don't have onside kickoffs. They do this 4th and 12 play instead, which is safer and I think more interesting. And they got 3-point conversions. You can try the play from the 10-yard line. But I am one of those longtime football fans who remembers the Panthers in 1983 when Anthony Carter caught that 50-yard pass from Bobby Hebert at the end of the first championship game to win the USFL championship. Now, that was played up in Pontiac, and we are very excited to have the team here in the city of Detroit. There are so many people to thank for doing this, but Arn Tellen, Tom Goris, Mark Hollis, Dan Gilbert, and the whole group that pulled this together, and our friends at Fox Sports, Eric Shanks and Larry Jones. This is the way the world works. Last year, I was in Qatar for the World Cup and got to go to this amazing sports bar that Fox opened for the U.S. Air Force, the Air Force base in Qatar. I think it's our largest Air Force base in the Middle East, and it was an amazing facility. And while I'm there, Eric and Larry said to me, "What do you think about the USFL playing in Detroit this year?" I said, "You never know where you have to go to recruit folks back to Detroit." But of course, the team had the plans in motion, and not only are we going to be cheering for the Panthers, but at least for a year we will graciously host the Philadelphia Stars and support them as well. And I know if nobody else, Arn is going to be cheering for Philadelphia. But great day for the city of Detroit. And to the Michigan Panthers, I just want to say, welcome home.
You know, Mayor Duggan brought up going to Qatar, and we did our military show there every year at Fox Sports. It's during the NFL season, obviously, when Veterans Day is. So we always do that Sunday show from a military base somewhere around the world. We had been to Qatar back in 2009, so this is our second visit there. But when we were there that first time, we noticed that a lot of the military personnel would go out and serve, and they'd come back and they'd have a day or two off, but they had nowhere to hang and watch TV. They had nowhere to have a beer, just to relax. And so the leadership at Fox Sports got together with the U.S. military and built this sports bar, which they just remodeled again this year, so that our military personnel would have somewhere where they could just kick back and be American kids watching sports, watching football, whatever. And I bring that story up because Mayor Duggan reminded me, but it's a sign of the commitment that Fox Sports makes to not just broadcasting games, but to being a part of the community that it broadcasts with, that it broadcasts from. And it's one of those situations where I am blessed and fortunate to be able to host Fox NFL Sunday. This is my 17th year I'm wrapping up. But I'm also in a position, and not patting myself on the back by any means, but where I can kind of pick and choose some of the things I want. And so when Fox came to me and said, "Hey, we would love to have you broadcast the rebirth of the USFL," I was all on board because I knew that it wasn't just about football. It was about a commitment to something bigger. We talk about United by Football. It brings people together. But also what Fox does, what Fox Sports does, and what the USFL does is works with the community. It makes sure that, we talk about affordability, that kids and families that can't afford to go to a lot of other sporting events can afford to go to these things. They can get autographs. We work with the local youth organizations. We make sure that there's more than just, "Hey, come to our football game and have a good time." it becomes ingrained in the community. And I knew that that was part of the mission that Fox and the USFL had, and so I was more than happy to be a part of it. And the guy who is the brains behind all of it, from Fox Sports to the USFL, he's the CEO and executive producer of Fox Sports, my boss there, and the chairman of the USFL. Please welcome Eric Shanks.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you, Kurt. Thanks for not only hosting NFL Sunday, but the passion and energy that you bring to the USFL, especially to get us kicked off in Season 1 and hosting here today at Ford Field. Good morning, everybody. Got a really good packed house here. I won't be long, but I just wanted to say a few more thank yous to everyone for making this happen. I especially want to thank Daryl for heading up all of the football operations. Winning 3 Super Bowls was nothing, right, compared to starting up a football league. Mayor Duggan, thanks for coming out again today and all of your support. And everyone here at Ford Field, Commissioner Evans, Arn, Hollis is out there somewhere as well. All of the other people who have made us feel so welcome as we begin our real community engagement and community involvement here. It was literally yesterday, 1 year ago, that we were in Birmingham, snowless Birmingham, to announce actually just our inaugural season of the USFL. And it was a real sprint to the beginning. We feel like with all the partnerships that we have here in Detroit, we're just going to have an amazing launch here at Ford Field in just 94 days. A year ago, our goal was to celebrate football. I mean, that's what we do at Fox Sports, 12 months out of the year, 365. And to have the USFL is just another great reason to celebrate football and bring the country together. We also, as Daryl said, crowned the champion, which hadn't been done in 40 years of a professional spring football league. And actually, the most awesome thing would be to have the Lions season go right through mid-February, and then we kick off in April here, so that the gap is very, very small between professional football here in Michigan. It is a region that loves football as much as we do at Fox and at the USFL. So it's great to officially welcome the Detroit community to Season 2 of the USFL, whether it's here at Ford Field, which we hope everybody comes out to, or just watching at home on Fox Sports or NBC Sports. The USFL is dedicated to bringing fans closer to the game that they love. So we hope that fans and their families, as Daryl said, throughout Michigan, as well as our neighbors in Canada, they'll come down to Detroit to celebrate football, starting with the first game right here on April 30th. We just couldn't be more excited for Season 2 to kick off. And again, thank you to everyone here today for making this happen. All right, thank you. Back to you, Kurt.
All right, I want to ask Daryl and Mayor Duggan to come up as well for a photo opportunity. And ladies and gentlemen, this will conclude our special announcement. A reminder, once again, the Michigan Panthers will kick off their season right here, the home schedule, in Detroit on April 30th. Fans can secure their place in Detroit sports history and lock in priority access to USFL games by going to the USFL, 2 words, pushed together, .com. Guests are invited to enjoy coffee and take some more pictures. Media, you're invited to come on up here for interviews as well. We thank you for sharing the day with us as well.
Great.
Thank you.